disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesdays is CTE with Chris Los and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up? Easy going week for the most part, right? And then I get to Sunday, and like all hell breaks loose. You know, it's just like anything that can go wrong just kind of goes wrong. And it wasn't that terrible. Well, mostly car stuff.
Okay.
So
Sunday, are you a car guy?
No, I wish I was. It would save me a lot of money. But my car is shaking a little bit, so I got to take that in. And then my wife gets out to her car, and the tire's all the way to the ground.
Oh, on one tire?
Yeah, the passenger side rear back tire is down. So I blow it back up, and you can hear it hissing, and we find the nails in the tire. So I took off work today because we also had a golf outing for Kids Kicking Cancer. So I was like, we got to have a working vehicle because we got to get out to Farmington. So I took that to Discount Tire, and they were packed. So,
they're always packed.
Oh man, it was crazy. I almost didn't get like in the queue. It was crazy. So got in. They said they could fix it, no problem. No charge. They'll patch it up. It's just gonna. I got there at 9. They said it wasn't gonna be done till 1:30.
Oh wow.
So we had to be at the golf course at 1. So I told my wife, okay, my car's drivable. Drive my car there. I'll have my parents drop me back off, grab the van, and take it to her, and we'll do the golf outing. Then I literally just came from there. So great golf outing, by the way. And then I'll get my cars taken care of after I got the van done. Now I got to do mine tomorrow.
Okay. Now, did you say what was wrong with yours?
It's shaking in the back. I think I got to get the tires balanced.
Okay. All right.
Or rotated or both.
Okay.
Something simple. I looked it up. It's one of those two things.
Okay. Bugs, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's happening? You just chilling.
Yeah, bro. I am
Grand champion. Let's go.
I'm deadbeat tired, man. You got no idea.
When'd you get back?
I got back last night at 11:30 at night.
Okay.
But I've been basically on the road traveling for like a week and a half, man. I'm just tired, bro.
So you were in Vegas last week. Did you go from Vegas right to Virginia?
All right, so this is what I did. I left 2 weeks ago for Vegas on a Friday morning. I didn't land over there in Vegas till 9 at night. So I was traveling like 10 hours, whatever, because of the time difference, all that good stuff.
You had a layover, huh?
Yeah, I had a layover in Philly. Then after that, I was basically, it was basically like work. It was like just like a karate work. That's all it was. So working from Saturday all the way until Wednesday night for the Martial Arts Super Show. Then I leave Thursday morning at like 6 a.m. and I don't land in Connecticut till midnight into like Friday morning. Then as soon as I landed, I came home, switched the stuff out of my bag, and then drove 8 hours to Virginia. So I didn't get into Virginia till Friday morning at like 8, 9 a.m.
How can you just then fly in from Vegas right to Virginia?
Because for the
You
biggest
needed
thing
to have your car, or
because I wanted to have my car, because then if I fly into there, then I was gonna need to rent a car, and then now I got to rent a car. There's just more. It's just more money when I didn't have to.
Okay.
So I did that. Drove into Virginia, then competed Saturday, and then trained on Sunday. And as soon as I got done with training, then drove 8 hours back up. And then here I am, exhausted as all heck, man. It's like, you know what it is, man? I'm just like I'm like mentally and physically exhausted. Like,
I understand.
Like I just like just the thought of anything makes me want to just like crash. I'm just like, oh, like it's just tough. So, and now but it sucks, man. It's like my week kind of goes on. So now this weekend I gotta fly to Virginia again. So I'm flying to Virginia. Then me and my
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So now you're about to fly to Virginia
on Friday.
So you got to rent a car now this time.
Hold on. Listen, hear me out. Flying to Virginia on Friday because I'm meeting my coach and we're driving. He's like, we're gonna drive to Cincinnati Friday night into Saturday. I gotta train with Uncle AP, and then after that, we're gonna drive back that night, and then I'm like done with karate for like a week. I'm gonna relax because
you can come drive through here if you're in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Listen, bro, I don't even know where it is on the map to get there. But all I know is that we're driving to Cincinnati. It's like 7 hours, and then after that, I'm done with karate for like a week. It's baby girl's birthday, so I'm gonna just be chilling with her.
All right. I'm still a little lost, and I almost don't even want to ask this question. I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
I'm just the type of person that likes to make sense, things to make sense.
Okay.
And if I got to get on another airplane, I'm a little confused as to why you are flying into Virginia instead of flying right directly to Cincinnati and then just flying from Cincinnati back home.
Because the only flights they have, because I was going to do that. Like, it's not like I didn't even look at that. The only flights they have get me in at like 1 a.m. It made no sense. Like I looked at Akron, I looked at Dayton, I looked at Cincinnati, I looked at Columbus. Everything gets me in at 1 a.m. I don't know. And it's like, it's weird, man. Like planes now, it's like a nonstop flight is almost like unheard of. Like it flies me over Virginia to make me have a layover to bring me back to Virginia. Like it's just dumb as hell, man.
Yeah,
like,
I had those type of layovers too. That's
it's just dumb. Like when I fly to Virginia from Connecticut, it brings me all the way to Charlotte, which is past Virginia, to then fly me back up to Virginia. Like it's dumb as hell, man. I hate it.
Yeah. Are you nervous with the connecting flights now with all the airline problems that's going on? Like, are you worried about?
That's a part of like the whole me driving thing. It's just because, man, like all these issues with connecting flights, all that, and then I know me, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be like, I could have just drove there. It's only X amount of hours. I do that drive anyways. So it's just like for me, it's just like, yo, man, like I'm not. And then plus on top of that, who knows if when you book the flight the next day, then that gets canceled, gets delayed, gets something. If then that happens, I swear to God, all hell breaks loose. You're gonna see me on the news in an airport. I swear to God, you'll see me.
You do not want to go. You don't want to have any problems with those TSA agents. You don't want those problems.
Listen, I can. If you told me my flight got canceled and then it gets delayed, oh, you're done. Oh God, I swear. Oh, I swear.
I mean, I get it. I understand. Like, I told the story before. Like, I had an issue. Flew out to DC to hang out with Trav when he lived out there. Me and my cousin Jess, we flew out there. We spent the weekend out there. My aunt Deborah and Avery drove down. At the time, Morgan was going to school out there. She was in Howard. She was playing baseball, so she was out there. And a lot of stuff happened. That was a lot of stuff happened that weekend. But when it was time to leave on Sunday, Trav gets me and Jess to the airport late. He takes us there. He was gone all day. He left us in the morning, and he came back at night later on in the evening and said, all right, come on, take you out to the airport. So we get there late. When we get to the airport, the line is at the door. So we have to wait in line. Now, this is maybe, I don't know, 2008 or 9, somewhere around that time. So when we get there, by the time we get up to the ticket booth, I had to check my bag. And they said, well, you're late. You know, the plane is supposed to leave in about 45 minutes. So I'm like, well, I'm here now. They were like, well, we can't guarantee that your bag is going to get to Detroit. I'm like, I don't care about the bag getting to Detroit. I care about me getting to Detroit. That's what I cared about. You know, they were like, well, you're going to have to wait. So they take my bag. Jess didn't have a bag. She had carry-on. So we waited in the airport. So this is like at 6 o'clock. We had to wait on standby to see if any other flights to Detroit had any spots available. Yeah. And of course, they don't. So I go up to the TS agent and I said, well, you know, where's my bag? It's on the plane. I said, the plane is going to Detroit. They said, yeah. I said, the one that I couldn't get on because you couldn't guarantee my bag gets to Detroit, but it's on, right? So we stayed there till midnight. I had to call Trav at midnight because there were no other flights leaving to Detroit. So we stayed there on standby for 6 hours. And then I had to have Trav come back to get us. He came back to get us, and we had to be back at the airport at 6 a.m. to see if we could still stay on standby for another flight. And a flight was flying out at 7 or 8 in the morning. So we ended up making that. I was so hot because just she got ready to go off from she was going off from the TS agent. I walked away. I just walked away because I didn't want any issues with the agents. I wasn't going to jail. Not for a bag.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, bro. Like and then I got back from Vegas. All right, like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I go to get my bag off the carousel, and Century gave me like a backpack, like to put all my gear in, like a gear bag, and it's like it's only a Century bag that has all my logos on it for team and all that. Bro, the bag went there in one piece. I come back and the strap was broken, and like so the TSA Delta, someone saw me and they heard me. I grabbed the bag and I was like, who the F messed this bag up? Like, there's ain't no way it was like this when I gave it to you. So the guy looked and I pointed at him. I was like, you, come here. I was like, what are we doing about this bag? And they were just like, oh, you have to file a claim, this and that. And as soon as they said that, I was like, so there you go. How much is the bag worth? $500, man. $500. Give me my money back. Or give me a new bag, something like that. This is ridiculous. But I was just so all that stuff, man. Also, I was just like, nah, man, this is just crazy. And with the way flights are and everything, I have like weird luck. Like sometimes my flights will come out good, and sometimes I get like the worst flights. So I don't just right now. I'm just not trying to take no chances. I'm living a stress-free life. I don't want my blood pressure high. You know, I need to save all that blood pressure high stuff for when it's the school year. I can't have these like episodes now. You run through them.
So you done with summer school?
No, I'm done this week, but I'm listen. I'm at this point. I told him, I said, you miss a day, you're gonna fail. Don't miss a day this week. Don't miss a day this week.
You're not still passing out A's, huh?
Passing out A's?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna. I'll tell you off air why I'm not passing out A's. I'll tell you off air. I will tell you off air because you guys will not believe it.
All right. Well, my weekend was cool. It was pretty cool. We had a family day yesterday. You know, we went to a carnival, had some good time. Man, my son Champ does not have any fear when it comes to rides and stuff. Like he'll get on anything. You know, Melissa's daughter went with us. She's a little bit picky about the rides that she get on. She's just not getting on anything. You know, Champ was trying to get her to come with her. Yeah, I don't blame her. You know, I don't ride everything. It's a lot of stuff I don't ride. Man, I get sick. I can't. I don't do the rides.
Me too.
You know,
I can do roller coasters over carny rides.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I'm a good roller coaster person, but I'm gonna be real. Ever since I saw that video of the kid in Orlando, I'm like real hesitant now to get on any roller coaster.
What kid? Which kid?
The one that when he did the sky drop and he flew out on the way down.
Oh yeah, the kid that wasn't supposed to be on because he was heavy.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real with y'all. And I'm not saying I never knew that was like a possibility, but it's kind of like a thing. Like I always heard about it, but I never saw it. And then when I saw it, that's like a real like raw video, like not edited, nothing. Like you saw everything. Ever since then, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always like now when I get to roller coasters, I'm always kind of like, I don't know, like this don't seem safe. Like
you know what, man, that would be a cool idea. You know, I'm surprised they have not done a haunted carnival movie yet. That'd be a cool idea. Somebody.
It's called Final Destination. The hell's wrong with you, bro?
They made too many of those. After a certain number, I stopped watching. They did one.
Number 3 was the people flew off the tracks. What are you talking about?
Okay, so what I'm saying, those people don't come back and haunt the carnival. That's what I'm saying. That would be a good idea, man, for a movie.
That's the conversation I want to have right now.
People come back, yeah. You know, if there's an accident on a ride, they come back and they haunt the carnival. You know,
bro, that is not the conversation.
People running from clowns. You know, you take over a clown's body and clowns chasing people through the.
Oh hell no! I'm telling you right now, I'll fight anybody, but a clown, I don't know if I could. I fear-wise, I don't think I could beat it because I'll be too afraid.
So are you saying that if anybody's listening to this podcast right now, all they have to do is show up at a karate tournament in a clown uniform?
Oh, please.
And Angel's bowing out? Is that what you're saying?
Please.
I'll tell you what.
Please.
I'll tell you what. Let's say we're at a karate tournament. Y'all are there, and you see a guy with a clown uniform there is funny. He's going to fight me. I really will look at you guys and I'll be like, I don't know about this one, guys. Like this one ain't looking. I don't know about this one. This one ain't looking too good. I could be out of roll. Like I'm saying, like 10-0 everybody. As soon as I see that, I'm gonna be like, I don't know about this one, man. This one ain't going that good. Like for real, he already beat me before he walked in the ring. Like I don't know what the hell is gonna happen. Like
dang, Gene. Now I'm thinking we need to think of a way that we can get it as a karate movie.
I don't think Angel. That would be one of those times that Angel will be like, "Oh, you know what, guys? I'm sick. I ain't gonna be able to do the podcast." All right, Angel. That's cool. We can wait. No. Why don't y'all call Jeff? Call Jeff to see if he can slide in for me.
Listen,
I ain't gonna be able to make this.
No, you know who I feel like will do some shit like that. I'm gonna tell you right now. I feel like fucking Mike will go. He'll go to a tournament purposely and get in my division with a freaking clown uniform on purpose. He would. And
that'd be funny.
Me, I'm gonna be like, oh nah, bro, I'm not doing this. I'm like, take the damn makeup off.
Come in there dressed like ICP.
Oh man. Hey, let me tell you something.
Yeah, Violent J might come in. Violent J.
Hey, let me tell you something. I went to Virginia, right? And y'all gonna laugh. And I'm sitting there, and Jeff is like, and when it comes to Virginia tournaments, like real talk, like, giving some props to my arch nemesis right now. He like is a master at running a Virginia tournament. Like,
what makes you say that?
He runs the tournament, competes, and also calls out the ring assignments. Like he'll be going for grands. He'll grab the microphone and say, "Okay, underbelt grands, ring 6, adult forms grands, set for staging, ring 5," and then puts the mic down, runs, puts his card in, grabs the microphone, and walks around and looks at the rings before he competes. Like this man was running the tournament. So so we're like talking, and then one of his students comes up and goes, "Oh, you're on that Fixed Kicks and Flicks, right?" And when he said it, the kid had to be nothing but like 15 to 17. And I was like, oh. And Jeff was like, yeah, he listens to all the shows. So I look at him and I said, listen to our show? He's like, yeah. No lie, in front of Jeff. Ask him. I said, and your mother knows about this? Like, does she approve of this? of you watching? And Jeff goes, yeah, you know, he listens to all of them. I think his mom doesn't care about what you guys say. And in that moment, I was like, man, now that I know we got a 15-year-old listening to this show, this is different. Then I go, you listen to Willie Hicks and Regina? He's like, yeah. All right.
All right.
Oh, you're good.
If you listen to them, we are all set. Ain't got no problem. We good.
Yeah, we're rated R. They are TVMA. That's what Raw is. They TVMA.
Hey, also, I could not stop thinking about today. I was at the gym listening to the podcast from that you guys did with Jeff, and I just could not stop thinking about the show that Willie Hicks, Mike, and Alex Dingman would have. Like, that would be, like, if they had a show, that would be the wildest show.
I think they'll get into an argument. I think they'll get into an argument. I think Willie will be yelling at Alex. I think Mike will be yelling at. I think both of them will be yelling at Alex about something. I don't know. that will be a crazy show.
Yo, if I saw that as a show, no joke, I would laugh because then I feel like Mike will get so mad he becomes G Money. He'll be doing some wild stuff.
All right. So that's pretty much it. Now that we wasted 20 minutes, talking about life. It's all good.
My fault.
No, it's all right, man. It's good. It's good that we know that you are now scared of clowns. That's good.
Yo, man, I'm telling you, y'all remember a few years ago when the whole like little red balloon thing was happening? Y'all remember?
So you're gonna freak out if somebody sends you a red balloon in the mail. Hey man, imagine that, Joe. Somebody sends him a box like this, a box about this size. He opens it up and a red balloon floats up.
I swear to God, Gene. I swear to God, I'll stab the box. I swear to God. If anyone's in there, I will stab them. I swear to you, I'm not even joking. Because when they had that little red balloon thing and clowns were walking around thinking it was funny, I told my mom, I said, please, God, let one find me. It is over for them. I swear to you. No joke. You did that joke about the bat. I almost walked around with a sword. I swear to you. I almost walked around with a sword. For real.
For clowns.
No, because it was happening on my couch.
Honestly, the only thing you gotta say to a clown is you're not funny. Ain't they gonna like hurt their feelings or something? You can get the bait. Like, hey, you're really not funny. Just get away from me.
Yeah, okay. And then next thing you know, they put chloroform on a rag and put it over your mouth. Whatever, man.
What kind of clown are you dealing with, man?
Oh no.
Don't even
this is interesting. This is interesting. That's interesting. I know, like, I don't care for clowns, but I'm not scared of them.
Okay. All right. And then next thing you know, that clown you said that shit to was John Wayne Gacy's son, and then you're done. And then what you gonna say? Okay.
I ain't gonna say nothing if he kills me. What do you mean? What am I gonna say? I ain't gonna say nothing.
No, in the middle of
I will be avenged. Somebody's gonna avenge me.
In the middle of him putting that chloroform over, you're gonna be saying, "Damn, I wish I would have just laughed." That's what you're gonna say. All right. Watch.
All right, let's get to the movie. Bruce Lee: A Warrior's Journey. How'd you guys feel about this movie? I'll be honest. There was not a lot in this movie or this documentary that we didn't already learn from the other movies.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I felt like this just touched upon all like the like basic facts that we already knew.
Mm-hmm. So that we already talked about, because I was like, what are we going to talk about when reviewing this movie? Because
there's a few things that I picked up on that were a little different, but I would have liked to hear. I would like to hear more perspective than just people all up on his nuts. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I would like to hear both perspectives. I would like to hear some people who had a different opinion. Like, I like to see both sides of things, and I feel like a good documentary isn't just like, oh, Bruce Lee's the greatest, because we kind of know, like, there's a little bit of both sides to him. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that I kind of picked up on, like, I feel like he wanted to be more of a philosopher than a martial artist at a certain point of his life. Like, all of a sudden he's like, philosopher Lee. It was interesting.
Do you think that Bruce Lee died at the correct time for himself? Because I don't know. The reason why I'm saying that is, sometimes when you're saying something or doing something early on, you can be a hero, but later on, people will get tired of your message and they will villainize you. I wonder if everyone would still keep Bruce Lee on a pedestal if he was around in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if that would have been the case. I think somebody would have said, "Put up or shut up."
Yeah.
Think about the people who were competing in tournaments. They touched on the tournaments, and Bruce Lee didn't really like them. They didn't seem real to him, right? But in the 80s, when Billy Blanks and Nasty Anderson and Anthony Price, my uncle, and all those guys were out there really competing in tournaments. Like, you think they would have, taken kindly to Bruce Lee saying that type of stuff?
No.
Personally, I feel like they had hold on, I don't want to talk for them. Let me just say, like, my opinion. I feel like the people of that era has such a high praise for Bruce Lee because in a way, I'm not saying this is exactly true, but I'm just saying in a way, he had an influence to getting karate to be on ESPN and mainstream. So I feel like they looked at him as like a pioneer. I don't think they would get so offended with what he was saying.
The reason I say that is because now in hip hop, a lot of the older hip hop artists try to give knowledge to the younger ones, and the younger ones will diss the hell out of them. They don't care. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that type of stuff.
That's
I don't know
because the younger ones, most of them are garbage anyway.
Yeah. I agree, but I just don't know if he would have been well respected if he had been around in the 80s and 90s, especially in the 90s. I don't know if he would have received the same type of respect. I don't know. I don't know.
This is what I think. Personally, I don't think it would have been your uncle's generation and like the golden era of karate. I think it would have been the beginnings of UFC would have challenged him. Because we would have seen Royce.
Oh
Gracie,
yeah,
because we saw Royce Gracie get out and put his art to the test. Someone would have said, "Well, let's see Bruce Lee get out there and put his art to the test." You know what I mean?
Do you guys think Bruce Lee would have liked UFC?
I say hell yeah.
I think so too.
Because he didn't like the aspect of tournaments, that's about as close as to what he was talking about as you can get. Now,
yeah, he'd almost be a bit of a hypocrite if he didn't.
Yeah, there's the other thing. Two things. One, I feel like UFC would have found a way to immortalize him, and would have paid a lot of homage to him. Honestly,
I don't think he would have did it.
I don't think he would have did it,
but
I think UFC would have paid homage to him, and like Dana White always says, like Bruce Lee had a big influence on the UFC. But there's the other thing I was gonna say. Did you guys get the feeling that he was kind of like a cult leader at one point?
Aren't we all? Are we all as martial arts instructors? Like your students pretty much listen and believe just about anything that you say.
If that's the case, I try to tell them I want a Lexus for Christmas. It ain't coming. So, but no, I'm just saying, just how you guys said, like he was trying to be more of a philosopher at one point. So it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of gave off like a cult vibe. That was just me though.
Yeah, but one thing that you just said, I don't think he would have competed in the UFC. Because think about it, like no, because he would have been too old because he died at 32, and the UFC doesn't show up for another 20 years. So he would have been 52. He wouldn't have competed in the UFC.
I'm just putting this out there. Rob Van Cleef competed in the UFC, and he's known as the oldest man to ever be in the UFC.
What year was that, and how old was he? I don't know.
Rob Van Cleef, I think when he competed. So you know who he is. He was the guy, Gene, that when he fought Royce Gracie, he wore the boxing trunks with the one boxing glove.
I do remember seeing that fight. Was that
Rob
like in
Van
94, 95?
Yeah, he was like 40 something when he did it. I think closer to his 50s. So he's known as like the oldest guy to ever be in the UFC, if I'm correct. If that's still the record. If not, maybe second or whatever. Whoever. Obviously, we know now people are going longer just because of recovery and all that. But I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe he would have got in there. I think because here I'm about to say this. I think because of UFC, we would have seen him do more exhibitions. I think we would have seen more MMA guys go to him for knowledge. I think that.
Yeah, I could see him possibly training some people.
Yeah,
I don't know how well they would have done, but I could definitely see in the early days of UFC
because
back when it was up. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say back when it was almost like a tough man contest. That's what it really was at the very beginning.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of people it was like style versus style. Like that's all people did. The reason why I say maybe is because Walker Texas Ranger, was that out before UFC or after?
I really want to say around the same time.
Okay,
I know that came
early
out.
90s.
Yeah,
Early
and
90s?
the UFC came out in the early 90s, also like
okay.
93,
So,
right? So
like Walker, so like Chuck Norris, he was known infamously on that show. He had the Machado brothers. He does jujitsu. He picked it up later in his life. So I feel like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Bill Wallace, Joe Louis, they all would have pushed each other, and they would have done some fights because Bill Wallace, Joe Louis, they were fighting into their, later years, into their 40s. They were doing kickboxing matches. So I don't know, man. I think it could have. I think he would have, if not competed, would have did exhibitions, would have probably trained some people. I think that's what would have happened.
How about this?
Mhm.
Bruce Lee in the WWE.
Yes,
I don't think he would have
Yep.
did it. I don't think he would have.
You don't think
it.
so?
I swear to you, I swear to you, he would have. I swear to you, God, he would have done it.
I don't know what made me think of that, but I just thought maybe.
No, Gene, that's actually now that you're saying that, I'm picturing it. Yeah, he would have did it. Because remember, Bruce Lee is a philosopher, so he finds the beauty in everything. He would have like let's be real. Like I've always been the first one to say like, oh, like wrestling sometimes, like when I was younger, turned me off because I found out it was fake fighting. When I was younger, I thought it was real, right? As an adult now, I actually have a deeper appreciation for wrestling because of the athleticism and what it takes to be a professional wrestler. Like, real talk, like all jokes aside, I give Mike Gibbs a whole lot of credit because he's probably doing something I could probably never do. Like the physical, strain it takes on your body, you have to be like in good shape to do everything. I think he would have done it. I think Bruce Lee would have found the beauty in doing it. I really do.
And then, is he a hero or is he a heel?
Heel.
That would be interesting because
heel.
That's
a good one. Oh, we should have said this. Damn it, we should have saved this.
I'm just having a hard time thinking about him doing it, especially when he didn't seem to respect point fighting, but you guys thinking he would respect pro wrestling? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I just thought it was an interesting question.
Yeah, it is an interesting question.
My thing is, it seems like when a fighter is done, that kind of seems to be the option.
Because you got to think about this. Think about this also. We're talking about at a time when it was not known to everyone if pro wrestling was real or fake. Then
you know what? I gotta agree with Angel. He probably would have done it because he's an actor already.
No, but
so if he could have got people to think it was real.
Vince McMahon did not come out and say it was all staged until the 90s. So we're talking about in the 70s and 80s. Bruce, they would have kept him in the dark. Well, they probably would not have kept him. I don't know. Like the wrestlers, I don't know. I think the way pro wrestlers think, they would think, look at this little guy. He's been talking. He thinks he's tough. I think they would have gave him hell if he would have did it, but I don't think he would have wanted to do it.
That is exactly why I think he would do it, because what was his biggest thing? He always wanted to prove that size doesn't matter.
Yeah, so Andre the Giant against Bruce Lee. You think Bruce Lee is going to lay down against Andre the Giant?
No, he's not.
Or do you think Andre the Giant will lay down for Bruce Lee? It's not the same WWE that it is now.
But the whole point is this. The whole point is Bruce Lee, I think, would have got out there to prove a point that you can hang with anyone, no matter your size.
So you think Bruce Lee would have really been out there fighting? He wouldn't have been working.
I think you know what? I think around that time, I think there was some type of contact that had to be made to make it look real. So I think he would have done it. But Joe brings up another good point, man. He's also an actor. Why wouldn't he do it?
Because like I said, they didn't know it was acting at that time.
It doesn't matter though. But so think about having Bruce Lee, Vince McMahon, and the way he is. You're saying he wouldn't pursue Bruce Lee and he wouldn't do it? When at that time wrestling was such a big stage.
But look at the real sports that were going on for martial arts at that time, and Bruce Lee did not do the real sports. Why would he do a stage fight? I'm missing it. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see why he would do it under the guise of it being real. And now, if Bruce Lee was younger now in the 2020s, yeah, in 2010s, maybe. In the 70s and 80s, when they thought it was real, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing him get out there and do that. He would have to lose or win. So who would want to lose to him? He's how tall was he? 5'7", 5'8", and like 130 pounds.
135.
And you think one of these big wrestlers would want to lose to him? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think. Listen, man. I'm telling you. I think he would have did it, and I think he would have enjoyed it, man. I really do.
Let's talk about him in Hollywood. In this documentary, they touched on a couple of things, which is really messed up, man. And that's how the entertainment industry is, man. He lost his idea. He came up with the idea for Kung Fu, and they pretty much just stole it from him.
Yep.
That is messed up. But that happens all the time. We hear all those type of stories all the time. And then also, goodness gracious, when they read what Game of Death was supposed to be, I was intrigued compared to the crap that they created. And I didn't even realize that one of the scenes they used a cardboard cutout for his head. I missed that. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Go ahead, Joe. Touch on some of this.
No, it's a mess. A cardboard cutout? Like, what are we doing here, people? I realize, like, we don't have no CGI or nothing, but come on.
Yeah,
if you need a cardboard cutout, then just don't even do the movie.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing. Maybe you shouldn't do the movie.
And the movie was garbage. Now, the end of this documentary, the part they showed where they recovered the movie, not bad.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah,
it was better than the whole damn movie.
Yeah, because the only thing we saw in the movie, we just saw his fight with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Which was killing me because I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be different levels.
And I wonder how they found that footage. Like, where had it been? So they missed that because they had been looking for it for a long time, and then it just miraculously they just found it. But you know, the writers should have did something different. They should have had, if they only knew they had Bruce Lee fighting because he filmed the end first. If they knew that's what they had, I would have rewrote the movie, and maybe the main hero wouldn't have been Bruce Lee. Maybe it would have been like his brother or his cousin. And
it wouldn't have sold, bro. It wouldn't have sold.
Goodness gracious. Like, I don't think Game of Death sold really well either.
Yes, it did.
What did it do? How much? What was the budget?
I'll look at it. I got you. I know it did. I know everybody flocked to the movie theaters when they came out.
Well, they probably would have flocked and ran out of it. And if Rotten Tomatoes was around at that time, they would have killed Game of Death on Rotten Tomatoes.
It might be on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of the older stuff is.
No,
I agree.
I meant back at that time. Like, I really would.
No, I know. I agree.
Reviews in the 70s, what they would have thought of this.
It doesn't say. Oh, actually, okay. So the budget was $850,000.
Dang.
Really? That much?
Yep.
That much?
Yep. And it grossed. It grossed an estimated $50 million, which it says it right here, which is equivalent to $210 million in 2021. So
they got over on a lot of people. They got over on a lot of people.
What I'm saying is, so like, you know, when he died, you know, when they came out with that movie, they definitely marketed saying Bruce Lee's last film.
They could have still marketed. They still could have marketed the exact same way. Like, they didn't have YouTube in the 70s. They didn't send out trailers. They could have still edited the movie where you just saw Bruce Lee, and then when you got to the movie. Matter of fact, man, I remember back in the day when there were video stores. I went to the video store and rented a movie because it had Bruce Lee in it. But the Lee was spelled L-I. It was Bruce Lee with an L-I.
Listen,
and I got it, and I was like, "What is this bull?"
Listen, you and I both. They did that to me. You know how many times I fell for that, and I kept saying, I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "I don't know why everyone says he's dead. He's right here in this movie. Like, what is?"
I didn't believe it was him. I knew it wasn't him. I didn't fall for it. But my thinking is, if they did Game of Death and just if they just marketed and edited and just showed his fight scenes and saying he was in the movie, I think it still would have did the same amount of numbers if he wasn't the main guy in the movie. You mean to tell me you think people went there and believed that was really Bruce Lee in the movie? It's up until the end.
No. People didn't believe it. This is what it was. When they marketed
they had to come out talking about it.
This is my thing. They probably said there's 12 minutes of unedited footage, whatever, or the last 12 minutes that Bruce Lee ever shot. And they probably didn't say where it was in the movie. So everyone is going to go, one, to support him because of his death. You know, he had like a cult following, which he did because he was one of the biggest movie star actors at that time. The second part is they probably said is they're going to have replacement actors that are going to look as close to Bruce Lee as they can. But remember, they integrated real film of Bruce Lee in the movie.
Yeah,
like
it was horrible. It was
his
horrible.
Funeral and all that. At that time, no one gives a,
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If they, it's all about how you market it. The story could have been better if they didn't do all that. I mean, that stuff where they showed a close up of his eyes and eyes only, or a cardboard cutout of his head, like that made the movie look even more ridiculous, as opposed to just saying, well, this was his brother or his little cousin or his nephew throughout the majority of the movie, and then we get to the end, he's going to take over to finish the fight because his cousin or brother gets messed up and can't, make it up the tower or whatever. I don't know, man. They could have did anything better than the crap that we got. That was just horrible.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's easy to say that now. At that time, ain't no one thinking like that.
They should have been.
because it's like now, like when Paul Walker died, God rest his soul, like, they were able to use his brother, CGI his face, and boom, we still got somewhat of a Fast and Furious movie. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, at that time, ain't no one thinking that far ahead. They were just like, well, Bruce Lee died. How do we monetize off of it? We'll say we got 12 minutes of unedited footage that we have in the movie. You don't know where.
But they didn't even stick to the script. Nope. They didn't stick to they created a totally different movie than what he wrote, which was ridiculous.
Well,
his made more sense than the crap that we got.
It probably only made more sense if he was in it.
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like they could have did it the exact same way. If they wanted to do that cheap bullshit way, they could have just did it the same way. I'm talking about the story, the actual story.
That's what I'm saying. It probably, in their mind, they probably said it would only work if he was in it. You know what I mean? Like,
but they said they lost a lot of his scripts and everything he wrote down, and then they found it with the footage supposedly. So I don't know.
Yeah. And you got anything else, Joe, you want to talk about as far as this movie goes?
No, that shit was trash.
You didn't like it?
You know what it was? It wasn't that it's not that I didn't like it like that. Like, if I didn't know all these facts already, I probably would have got into it. But
I feel that.
This is my thing. This has always been my issue with Bruce Lee, right? And it's not with him necessarily. It's just we only know but so much limited facts because we weren't there, we weren't him, we weren't behind the scenes when everything happened. So it's like everyone's gonna say the same story. They're just gonna try and say it a different way. And that's where I get kind of like annoyed with like the whole Bruce Lee, documentaries and movies. Cause it's like, bro, like the one I saw in 1992 is the same thing we're seeing in 2010. It's just said a little differently. That's all. You know what I mean? So it's just like, for me, when I saw it, I was like, all right, we already know all this stuff. Like,
how can the people that saw the fight, because his wife said, the fight lasted 3 minutes, the guy was running around. And then other people say it lasted 20 minutes.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
Huge difference. But who I believe though? I believe the wife.
Think so?
Well, think about this. When was the last time you saw a 20 or 30 minute fights? Fights normally aren't that long.
Listen,
they shouldn't be.
Think about a boxing fight and a UFC fight. Like after 15 minutes, they're tired. Hey, so you mean to tell me Bruce Lee fought another 20 or 30? No, I don't.
Hey, listen, when I heard it was like 30 minutes, in my mind, I was like, I wonder if they had like rounds. Did they have them like sit down, drink water? Okay, we back at it. Let's go. That's what I wonder.
Yeah, I kind of lean toward the wives because 3 minutes sound about right for a fight.
If they would have said like 10, I would have been like, that sounds believable.
I can even believe 10
because like 10, if you think about it, 10, and like let's just say like right now, like let's just say like in a like now and today that we do like a 2-round fight. You know, you do a 2-round fight, but like you just say 10 minutes to set everything up, to fake the person out, try and figure them out, and then you guys start going at it. Like 10 minutes, I may say, damn, that must be long, but it wouldn't sound like crazy to me. 30 sounded like that's just a lie. Like 30 sounded like a lie, and the reason why I didn't really believe 3 minutes was because I was like, oh, okay, so he just walked in, basically winked at the person, and he was dead. Like that's what we did. Like that's
well, she said the guy kind of ran around. She just kind of said he ran around and Bruce eventually got him and made him tap out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't. I feel like if you want to fight someone, you ain't gonna run around after. Like you're gonna say, oh, I want to fight.
You know what also helps me believe that's true? Because I mean, as far as I know, we haven't really heard too much anything else from anybody else. There were other people there. There were 12 people supposedly there. Nobody else said anything, and I think those other 12 people might have been against Bruce, and they didn't say anything. They didn't deny it or anything. They just, so maybe they didn't want their guy to look bad, so maybe they exaggerated it to 20 to 30 minutes or whatever.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Joe, when was the last time you sparred?
For real sparred?
I mean,
it's been a minute.
I was supposed to say what's fake fight sparring.
Well, I mean, I put on the pads and sparred with your kids when you were gone.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
that's what
I sparred with like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at, Joe. Thursday, that's what I did. I sparred with the kids.
Yeah.
I sparred with every student. They didn't fight anybody else. They fought with me.
That's fun.
It started at the 6 o'clock class, and I just rolled it into the 6:45 class. So I stayed up the whole time. So I fought for an hour and a half. This is the first time I fought for an hour and a half in forever. And then I got to thinking, as the big kids came in, I was like, damn it, I wish their class was first, so I'm getting tired now. But luckily, yeah, they were a little bit, they were kind of scared to spar me. So, but like I told them, like I was sparring to help them, because like my uncle, he sparred us growing up, and he knew our strengths and weaknesses, and he by him sparring us, he could tell us what we needed to improve on and what we should and shouldn't do, So that was my thinking with sparring with them. And I honestly, man, I wasn't as tired as I thought I was going to be. I wasn't as sore as I thought I was going to be, even though I still came home and I took 2 a leave. I wasn't going to gamble. I took 2 a leave, and I was slamming water all night, man, because my body will dehydrate quick, So I was slamming water all night, and I didn't have any issues, so I was pretty happy about that. I'm not sure the next time I'm gonna do that again, though. That got me to thinking about Bruce Lee in that 30-minute thing. Yeah,
we'll take turns. Yeah, every other week, keep them on their toes.
Yeah, it was crazy to see Gene fight Jason Tankson, bro.
You said that was crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only fight of mine that's online. I mean, Mike has some other fights of mine because he has those tapes. Mike has tapes of me fighting, and Willie's mom got a lot of fights. But I was a kid. I was a kid in all those.
Yo, man, you were solid, bro. You were solid.
It's all right.
Yeah, you look good. They didn't give you a couple of points that you should have got.
Yeah, you were solid, bro.
No, my better fight was the day before, because we had team fights and everything, and I had a good time.
So at that time, was it like, this is like a little history lesson for me. Was it like was it like TPK versus like Tankson's Karate that always met up with each other?
It was Detroit against Chicago. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what it always was.
Because at one point I started wondering. I'm like, yo, imagine I wonder if it was like Coach Plowden will go up against Tankson, like Larry Tankson.
Yeah.
Then you or Trav will go up against Jason. Then whoever else will go up against like Leroyce. I started or Larry. So I started wondering because they all had like the brothers. I was like, I wonder if that's what was happening.
Yeah. It's get wild. Some of those tournaments got real wild, man. A couple of brawls broke out a couple times.
Really?
Yeah. Detroit versus Chicago, man. And
we get loud.
Yeah. I know of
Detroit, Chi-Town,
yeah.
Detroit. It's
It's a fight with Travis Butcher out there online. And I saw that not that long ago, a couple of years ago, and I got hyped. That took place, 24, 23 years ago. It was a long time ago.
Hype,
I did. I'm watching it on YouTube or whatever. I think Trav had posted it on Facebook. But it was a good fight. He ended up fighting Butcher and winning. But it was good. I mean, you can feel the energy in the video. I watching the video, you can feel the energy.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was good, man. But yeah, it was a few brawls. The messed up part I never liked, because when we went to Chicago, man, we had to fight. We had to bang in Chicago, because points didn't come easy when you went out to Chicago. They stuck together. The part I didn't like is when we came back here, and if there was a big tournament here, and Chicago would come here, and some of the people that were judges here were. It was like we were fighting against them also, because we were here. We would win these tournaments and beat these people up that were around here. So when people came from other states, they wanted to see us lose. So it's like, we couldn't win for anything. You know what I'm saying? We always had to be the villains. We always had to be the bad guys. But it is what it is.
Yo, let me tell y'all something. Okay. When I fought at this tournament this weekend, I've never seen a group of people try to cheat me so bad. Like, they didn't know who I was. They were like, they thought I was just, man, when I tell you the trash, the junk they were talking on the side, I've never heard people talk like that at a karate tournament before in my life.
People that don't even know you.
People that don't even know me, but they were like, there was some profiling going on, and I'm just, and Sean and Gina are just telling me, they're just like, just stay quiet, be a silent assassin, do your thing, don't even worry about it. Man, when I tell you, like, it's like the judges at one point, I was up 6-2. It's like at one point, all you needed was 1 point to get to 7. That took like a minute to 2 minutes on its own to get 1 point.
How many did your opponent get? Did he get anything during that time?
He got like 4 points in that time span. I'm saying, like, it was 2 points for kicks, 1 point for hands. I'll kick him, and they're giving him a point. And I was like, I remember, like, at one point, you heard me go like, oh my goodness. And I just looked around. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, he's not even doing anything at this point. Like, then they would try to be sneaky. They say, call what you first saw. And I'm like, bullshit. What he did first didn't even do anything. I hit him like 5 times in a row. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, literally, you hear Coach Sean saying, as they're telling me I scored the last point, he's like, and y'all still don't want to call it. What's wrong? Like, he was going off. Coach Sean, but I tell you, I got the video. He was like, oh, come on, guys. And y'all still don't want to call that. Let's go. I was just like, yeah, this is nuts. So it's crazy. You saying that about, like, the whole, like, different states thing? Like, when I was there, I definitely could feel the whole, like, tension of, like, and then when they heard I was from Connecticut, they're like, what you doing here? I'm like, I almost want to be like, motherfucker, do you want my money or not? I'll go. I'll leave. Like,
I mean, Jeff had your back, though. Right?
Yo, Jeff in the chat was. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna get with Jeff because Jeff is gonna laugh when he hears this. Jeff at one point, like, heard the people, and Jeff slowly started like drifting away from me, like nah, you on your own. Bro, I noticed that. I haven't clocked Jeff out on it.
He was Jeff, like that. He did that Homer meme on you. That's what he did. He did the Homer meme.
Jeff slowly was like, he was next to me, and then I looked, and he was like halfway across the room. And I'm like, I wanted to be like, damn, all right, then I guess I'm just at my own, whatever, bro. Like, whatever. I don't care. Like, oh my God, Jeff was on. Yo, that made me laugh, bro. When Jeff did that, like.
You're going to get a text message Wednesday afternoon, right?
Wednesday, I'm gonna be on the show with him that night. I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna be like, yo, man. and then there's the other thing. The best part is that Jeff puts in the chat, yeah, man, they really weren't trying to give you no points. Yeah, weren't they, Jeff? Yeah, I know. Freaking insane. Oh my God.
All right. So what grade are we giving Bruce Lee Warrior's Journey? What grade are we giving this movie? Oh man, don't talk at one time.
I always go first. Yo, what do y'all go first?
All right, I'll go. I will give it. I mean, I guess B minus or C. I guess. I mean, it's not like it was. It told us information that we already knew, so we didn't learn anything different. Only thing we did, we got to see the extra footage that was supposed to be in Game of Death because they had that at the very, very end of the movie, which stretched out the movie to make it a little bit longer. So I mean, I didn't see anything ridiculous in it. It was nothing really to even dog. I mean, it was just information that we already saw in the movies. Yeah, I give it a B minus.
I'm pretty on par with that, bro. It's just a basic movie, like a B minus. Like there's nothing for me to pick at. Like I said, we just knew everything. So yeah, I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't watch it again.
No, I won't either.
I'll give it a B.
Like Jeff saying he watched this in college, I was like, yeah, this is like I could picture him watching this on like a tube TV. Like this is crazy. Like, no.
And Joe, you said a B. You gave it a B?
Yeah, I'll give it a B.
Okay. All right. So what's next? We gonna do the Itmar now?
Hold on. Stop for 1 second. Hold on. Time out 1 second. You, sir, Joe, you better put some respect on Mortal Kombat. Cut that shit out.
What's he talking about? What's he talking about?
From last week,
I talked about
don't you dare talk bad about Mortal Kombat. You know how good it is.
I was talking bad about Mortal Kombat.
You over here, movie. You want the Miz to be Johnny Cage. Like that's a no.
Who did I say that?
When we first saw the movie, you're like, "Oh, look, the Miz. I think they're gonna bring the Miz in." I was like, if they do that,
I might have mentioned it. I don't like the Miz. The Miz is dumb.
Shut this whole movie down. But I'm telling you, you and Jeff, come on, man. The new Mortal Kombat is way better than what we saw before. Way better.
Just because it was better than we saw before didn't make it a great movie. You guys gave it an 11. You guys gave it an 11 and a 15.
It was a great movie.
Joe, I did not have high expectations for that movie. It was better than I was expecting. So yeah, I did give it 11.
It can be better, but it was not a great movie.
Jeff, Jeff, look at that. I'm over here calling you. Joe, I would watch that movie. No joke. Like almost every single day if I could. Nah, not every single day, but like you know what I'm trying to say. Like I would watch like more than twice. Like that was a good movie.
All right.
So what are we doing next? What are we gonna do next?
You said Ip Man. I thought we could do Ip Man. If we want to stay with Bruce Lee, we could do Enter the Dragon. But Ip Man, I'm good with Ip Man.
Hey, wait, we never did Enter the Dragon?
I thought we already did the Enter the Dragon.
I don't think so.
No, wait, hold up.
You guys didn't you do the Big Boss, Game of Death, and that weird one that you and Mike did?
Way of the Dragon?
But I don't think anybody did Enter the Dragon, which is his.
I'm almost positive we did.
Hold on. Gene, you guys did the one with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, their fight scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
With that weird ass cat.
I still don't understand that cat.
I don't understand that. Yeah, we did Enter the Dragon. Yeah, it was me and Jeff.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Listen, whatever y'all want to do, that's cool.
Listen, Ip Man's good. All the movies are good, and these ones are dubbed, not subtitled. So
the first one is subbed, though, right?
Yeah, we already watched the first one.
Yeah, I did. Me and Mike did. Well, Mike cut it off halfway.
But you guys never actually did the review on it, did you?
I did a brief one. I ran through it real quick, and Mike watched something else and did it. So we had like a 2-part thing that we did. So, but if y'all want to watch the first one again, I don't care. We can do that again.
I'm gonna be honest. If we're gonna do the Ip Man, I want to watch one and go all the way through.
I don't care. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, I'd much rather do that.
I didn't hate the movie, so I don't care. What do you want to do, Joe?
I'm good with that.
All right, let's do that series then. That's next. The Ip Man series.
Yeah, they're good series. They're good movies.
Okay. And I would say I started watching the first. I finished watching the first one. I started watching the second. I didn't finish the second one. It wasn't bad. I was enjoying it, but we didn't watch it. I think something happened, and I didn't finish watching it. But yeah, so that's cool. Ip Man. We'll do Ip Man 1 to start it off. All right, how many is it? Is it 4? 4 movies?
4.
Okay, no problem. Y'all got any closing remarks?
Oh man, I'm good.
No.
All right, cool. Well, everybody out there, continue to stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you guys next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.